It's time for another Dice Tower review with Zee Garcia.
Hey folks, today I'm taking a look at an abstract game called Dragon Face. Dragon Face here, as you can see, comes in a big metal tube, and it is a game in which you are trying to capture your opponent's emperor, the main piece, and win the game. In the game, you are jumping over each other's pieces, flipping the pieces to your own color, and ultimately trying to outthink your opponent and out-strategize them. Let me give you a brief overview of how the game works, and then I'll tell you what I think of this one. Here we go. Here's what the game looks like set up and ready to go. Each player has two lines, the back line and the front line here. Each player also has 7 of these governor pieces. They have 6 of the ambassador pieces here. And then each player has 1 emperor, which is the one piece you are trying to capture. And if you do so, then you win the game. Each piece has a specific way in which they move, which is very straightforward. And so the emperor here moves just like a king in chess. You can move a single space in any one direction. You have the ambassadors that are basically like a queen. They can move in a straight line as far as you want them to. And then you have the pieces up front, the governors, which can move forward, straight forward, or to the sides. So pretty much a pawn in chess. And so the way the game works is the white player is going to start, and they are going to move a piece. By the way, as you can see, the board here has a playing area, and then outside of that, a ring of spaces that is what the game calls the sacrifice zone, and pieces might end up in there after a capture, but they're not really in play if they are in that ring, this ring here of darker colored pieces. So, as I said before, the white pieces are going to start, and so they are going to move this piece, let's say. On the very first move, they are allowed to move twice. I wonder what other game does that. And then it'll be the other player's turn. They will do this, and so on. This player can move here. This player can move this piece out here. And they will continue to do moves like this. These governors can only capture sideways. And so this piece, being in front of this one, will not be able to jump over it and capture it. They need to capture sideways. And that's, again, basically like chess. The idea here is to capture this piece, like I said, and the way this outside ring works is that at any moment, if, let's say, this piece is here for some reason, well, this player could capture this piece by jumping over it and landing outside and then flipping it over. That's a difference. And then this piece is stuck outside in this ring, and the only way to reacquire that playing piece is to get one of your governors into the opponent's back row, at which point you may take that governor, stick it under this piece, activating it, and then this piece is allowed to come back onto the playing surface. Okay, so that's the way that works. You are going to continue taking turns, doing things like this. You are not allowed to, by the way, recapture a piece that was just flipped over. So, in that previous move when I jumped out here and flipped this one over to black, then this player cannot immediately do this and flip it back over to white. That is not allowed. You cannot re-flip one that was just captured. So, again, you continue doing all this. Pieces might get stuck out here. Once these pieces are stuck on the outside, they're stuck out there for good, okay? So once they are out here, that's it for them. At some point, someone is going to capture one of these. Probably not with this piece, but whatever. And when that happens, then that player is declared the winner of the game. That's pretty much it. So as you can see, Dragon Face here is very much a chess meets checkers kind of game. It's a slight twist on both of those games, sort of a merging of the two. It seems there's a lot of games that go for that whole, you know, strategy of chess, the simplicity of checkers. It's a new thing, and this game actually is that a little bit, you know, the chess and the checkers. So, is that a good thing? Well, it's certainly not very original. It was not an inspiring game by any means. I like abstract games, but this is not one that captivated me. I'll tell you one thing that captivated me was that board is a gorgeous board. You can roll up and it looks nice. I like the pieces are great and chunky, really well made. The tin I'm not so happy about. This, you know, this is not a good storage solution for pretty much any game these days, but it's not horrible, and then it is sturdy. You know, it's a well put together package. I just don't like the tin and the cylinder thing myself, but the components in the game are good. The game itself is all right. If you like chess, you like checkers, that's your style of abstract. Those are the ones you gravitate towards, and you want to see something that doesn't deviate too far from that, but gives you a couple of new, you know, twists, then you'll like this. But again, if you were that kind of player, you probably, from having seen the overview, figured you'd like this anyway. For other people who are not into chess a whole lot, haven't played maybe, then this is just not that exciting. I mean, chess has a bit more going on, again, if it's your style of abstract, and checkers has the simplicity, which this doesn't quite have. I would recommend this over checkers, okay? If this game was the game that replaced every checkers base box in the world, that's probably all right. I'd be okay with that. But it's simply not that different from this amalgamation of the two, and so I wouldn't go out of my way to recommend it. If this is your type of thing, you like that, then look into it. You know, you might enjoy it. The game is certainly well made and well put together, but it's just not that engaging. I did not find it very fun, very captivating. I like the idea of the pieces becoming trapped around the outside of the track and all of that, but everything else is just a little too blatantly chess. So, there you have a Dragon Face. Not quite a recommendation for me, but there's nothing really wrong with the game either. If it seems cool to you, then go ahead and check it out.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.